Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ringside Cinema. I am Money Mike, and I wasn't planning on another video for this week as I was going to spend the weekend working on the two major videos that I have planned for next week. One of which was to rewatch the documentary WrestleMania 40 Behind the Curtain to give you my full review on it and also talk about how this plaque almost never became a thing and how I could have saved a bunch of money by The Rock getting his match with Roman Reigns. Also, I will also be booking John Cena's farewell tour after watching Dynamite this week. I had to make this quick video because not only was the ending good, because it was actually something that I did not see coming. I thought, Tony Storm would have been the one to turn on Mariah May. And yeah, this is going to go up on Friday, so if you haven't watched Dynamite yet, this does contain spoilers for Dynamite. But I wanted to make this video because of the ending segment on Dynamite with Mariah May and Tony Storm. And not specifically about Mariah May, Tony Storm, the storyline behind it, and how finally after what, 5 years, AEW's women division is finally getting the booking it should have gotten a couple years ago. And as someone who's going to AEW All In next month in London, I'm excited for the women matches. Britt Baker versus Mercedes. And then last night we got the ending with Mariah May being the one to turn heel, literally with a heel, on Tony Storm. And I could make a video talking about that. I could make a video talking about the women's division in general, but I want to talk about the crowd, because how great was it when Mariah May, when she busted up Tony Storm, she, the heel, the heel, into the face of Tony Storm and making her bleed, and the fans were chanting, "Holy S, you sick F," towards Mariah May. And guess what? TBS didn't censor it. So, watching that segment back, I was like, yeah, this was the exact reaction that AEW was looking for. Not only did they get it, but it emphasized it. The moment, it made it so much bigger when you're getting that reaction from the crowd. And it made me really think, man, I cannot wait for the Netflix era of WWE Raw to begin. Now, yes, look, SmackDown is going to USA Network, so unfortunately we still have to deal with the USA Network. And just maybe, whenever this deal with the USA Network runs out, with SmackDown, maybe they can go to Netflix as well. But it really made me think, with all the controversy, in recent weeks with WWE and how the networks are censoring the crowd. You have, when the crowds are chanting certain, cuss words, and the networks are like bleeping it. I think during that segment with the two basketball players, I don't watch NBA, so I'm not really familiar with their names, but the two NBA players, Logan Paul brought out that one guy from the Indiana Pacers, and they, again, this was a Madison Square Garden crowd, New York Knicks home base, obviously, and they started chanting like I think F the Pacers or F that guy, whatever. And Fox was like, "Oh crap, censor, censor, censor." And then I think at one point they even like did a black screen or something. I remember there was like a controversy. I think when The Rock turned heel and the fans were starting to chant "Die Rocky Die" like it was 1996 all over again. And someone in the crowd brought a sign that said "Die Rocky Die," a complete reference to The Rock's wrestling past. And USA Network was like, "Oh my gosh, we can't have that. Let's, like a black screen or whatever." They freaked out over it, even though it was in complete context of The Rock's wrestling career and how his career started. But again, it was so refreshing to watch that closing segment of Dynamite and go, yeah, I cannot wait for Netflix to come to start their era of WWE, because we won't have to deal with that stuff anymore. And I go back to when Solo and the Bloodline Wolfpack took out Paul Heyman. Literally, you're in New York City. You're at Madison Square Garden. You're going to get a rowdy crowd, and you're going to get a fan base in the New York area that is going to be rowdy. They're going to be, pumped, and with WWE as hot as they are going to be, loud. They're chanting. They're going to be cheering, and during that final segment of Paul Heyman when the Bloodline Wolfpack took him out, they Shield triple powerbombed him, and the crowd started chanting "F you Solo." Fox started bleeping because the crowd were saying the F word, and it kind of took away from the moment. And it was a great moment. And, it was what was needed because fans felt that the Bloodline Wolfpack needed something more to really get people invested. And we finally got that moment, and it was ruined by the network's censorship. The crowd started chanting "F you Solo," and the network said, "Well, we can't have that." Meanwhile, that closing segment of AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, I'm taping this on Thursday, but they're chanting holy F's, they're chanting "you sick F" at Mariah, and literally TBS is just like, whatever, go ahead, do whatever. And it's just kind of like they understand what it means for that moment, for the fans to be chanting that, more so than USA Network and Fox, who are panicking because, oh my gosh, they're saying cuss words, we need to censor. And it's ruined so many things in WWE because of that. And it's ruined moments. Like that moment with Paul Heyman being turned on, going through the table, "F you Solo." Yeah, they're chanting "F you Solo," but it's bleeped out by the censors, and then that kind of kills it. It does, I don't want to say it kills a moment, but it hurts the moment because the at home viewers are not able to fully entail into what that moment means. Like if the crowd is chanting "F you Solo" after that, like, yeah, it's a pretty big deal. Like that's the response that WWE wanted. And you look at AEW on Wednesday on Dynamite, where again, that's the response you wanted people to get, because it's been these months of build up of Mariah and Toni Storm, and we eventually knew that one of them was on turn. We didn't know who, and so yeah, it was great, and it made me realize I cannot wait for Raw to go to Netflix because we don't have to deal with that no more. They won't have to deal with the censorship. In fact, Triple H himself has even said that it's not going to be a problem. And there's been reports that WWE is not happy with the way that USA Network and Fox are censoring things, so to speak. And there's a lot of people that were upset with USA Network this past Monday when they just cut off Rhea Ripley's big return, like just to go air that Race to New Zealand show. Like no overrun. Like really? Like for a big return like that, really? So yeah, I just want to do a quick video and I it the contrast between TBS where they're just like, hey, chant whatever you want. It's wrestling. We know, that's going to help make the moment better. Whereas USA Network and Fox with WWE are just kind of like, no, crap, oh no, quick, censor button, censor button. So it just made me realize, I can't wait for Raw to go to Netflix. I hope SmackDown goes to Netflix after their deal with USA Network is up, because we're going to have to deal with USA Network still and the censorship issues. Like literally, can you imagine what we saw in Dynamite? Can you imagine that segment being aired on WWE TV where the fans would be chanting Music F Holy S at Mariah May, and then that whole moment gets ruined by the USA Network and Fox people censoring the crowd? Yeah, that would have ruined the moment. Like it just made me realize how much better everything is going to be with Raw when it goes to Netflix. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of Mariah May turning on Toni Storm? And are you going to be excited with Raw going to Netflix? Are you going to be happy that WWE will no longer have to worry about the censorship issues? We'll have overruns again. Comment below and subscribe for more Ringside Cinema. As I said, next week, 2 big videos planned, and of course, more weekly wrestling content to come right here at Ringside Cinema. Ringside Cinema, living out the dream. Lights down, time to go. Cheers for heroes we know. Ringside forever bold. Wrestling never gets old.